This is Micah Parsons, defensive player for the Dallas Cowboys.
And I just don't think that we should sleep on Brock Purdy no more. Yes, he was a 7th-round pick. Yes, he came in late in the season and won 6 straight games, took him to the NFC Championship before his injury. But Purdy, you will not be slept on no more, brother. I think people are coming for you the same way they come for Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Yes, you are surrounded by a great team, but you are playing your butt off. You got one hell of a story, brother. If we were to rank Purdy right now, I would put Purdy around. I think Purdy's a top 15 quarterback. There's things that we still want to see from Purdy, not when Purdy's winning, but when Purdy's down. I think the adversity aspect of the football game is huge. Learning how to play from behind, learning situational football. It's not something I'm saying he can't do. It's just something that we just haven't seen yet.
Now, that's a student of the game. I mean, Steiny, he's right, I mean, let's see what type of mannerisms you have when you're down. But to be honest, it's not Brock's fault. How many games has he had that opportunity? They've been kicking ass in a lot of them.
Yeah, and I love that sound from Micah Parsons because, I mean, the bottom line is he's got a lot of respect for Brock Purdy.
That's what that was, man.
I mean, why can't
Uncle Looney, respect from the ops. That's what that was.
It's funny because, he's just saying what a lot of people are saying. But some people don't like when other people say it. But I guess when Micah Parsons says it, it's okay. And what he's saying is, look, Brock Purdy's played 8-10 games. We can't sleep on him anymore. He's a good player. Now, do you want to see it for a little more, a little bigger sample size? Of course. But you can't take anything away from what he's already done. So, one of the greatest of all time said 2 things can be equally true.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel. I feel like Brock Purdy's pretty good. But I'd like to see a little more to make sure.
And that more.
See if he's good enough.
That more he put, when they're behind. But it's been a while, Steiny, since they've been behind.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't. I know it's Niners all day, bang, bang. But we didn't ask them about Garoppolo's big win in Vegas. I wonder if they're believing. That's just one game.
Yeah. 888-957-9570 is the number. I'll tell you what, if I'm a Niner fan, does it worry you at all that, Micah Parsons is saying we're not sleeping on Brock Purdy? Or do you think there's something to...
Well, he did just beat him.
I know, but do you think there's something theoretically, maybe what Parsons is saying is the reason the 49ers beat us last year was because we slept on Purdy. I can't sleep on Purdy anymore. I guess what I'm asking is, does it invoke anything with 49er fans to start thinking that people are coming for Purdy? Or they're starting to really, really respect Purdy. They're taking him way more seriously. They know the 49ers can win it with them.
How can you not?
Does that mean that I would want people to keep sleeping on Brock Purdy if I were a 49er fan?
Well, Dallas comes to town week 5. So to your point, Steiny, I think that's over. And I don't think the Steelers slept on them. Maybe they did. But everybody, the league should be on notice because that's what I think they did in Pittsburgh. And Evan and you were kind of the referees, Steiny. We were talking about just how good Pittsburgh was coming into this game.
Right.
And they'd be getting a lot of kudos. They are better than what they showed. And I thought about it after maybe the Niners just dismantled Pittsburgh.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, they did 30-7, but that was why they looked so bad.
This is one of those where you gotta let it play out. I mean, Pittsburgh might stink this year. And we'll look back and say, well, all they did was beat a 5-12 team.
Like the Bears last year.
Pittsburgh may go 12-5.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that'll be one of the biggest wins of the season. So you really, who's going to be, if outside of some teams we know,
all right,
the 49ers, they're probably going to be pretty good this year. Tell me a team right now that we don't think much of that you think is going to be good.
I got one right now.
Okay.
Green Bay. They could be last year's Seattle. They could be What about Tampa Bay? I'm just throwing out. Could your boy Baker finally have found a home? I don't know, but Steiny, every year it's always like a different sector of teams like that come out of nowhere. Minnesota, are they going to follow up last year's success? I mean, they lost at home to Tampa. 1 week, though. I understand.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Cleveland.
Minnesota won a lot of close games last year. Can they count on that this year? Probably not. They'll come back to the mean. 888-957-9570 is the number. If you just heard that Micah Parsons sound and you're a San Francisco 49er fan, you got to love the respect on the one hand. On the other hand, do you worry? Like, I guess what he's saying, Micah Parsons saying is, there's a chance the league can catch up to Brock Purdy. That's all. He's been great.
I didn't get that. I love that you said, but I think that was the ultimate tip of the cap.
Well, he said, but he's got to keep doing it. Yeah. So he didn't crown him all the way.
But even the great ones got to keep doing it.
Well, but I get what Sean King was saying. In your quarterback rankings, do you put Brock Purdy over Derek Carr?
When you talk about longevity,
exactly.
I can't.
Right. And when you talk about
who's
now,
playing
you take
better?
Purdy.
Okay, there we go. But the right now, and that's what it's about. And that's what happened to Jet fans in their season. Right now, you feel like, you know what, it's over. May not be, but how are you feeling for the Niners, Steiny? If you're a Niner fan, you're feeling like bring on the Lambs.
510, Pittsburgh and Baltimore always start out slow, end up winning 9 to 12 games. You guys watch sports. That's your job. You should know that. Well, I could say the 49. How about the 49ers?
And Pittsburgh didn't make the playoffs last year, Mouth.
Hey, Mouth.
How
about the 49ers? They got off to a 3-5 start last year.
Imagine that. Well, Purdy wasn't around.
And how'd they do? We're 3-4.
Yeah. Year before.
Tell us we don't know that teams can come back after one game.
I guess Van Halen has a song called Right Now.
They stink.
They stink?
They stink.
I've never heard you go in on Van Halen.
They stink.
Why?
They're just not very good.
Now, how many people do you think will back you up on that? I don't know much about rock, but I know Van Halen's a big boy.
Yeah. He's a big boy in pop. Like, he can't hold a candle to the elite musicians of our day.
Kiss. Gene Simmons. Ace Frehley. Peter Paul's not your boy.
510. Micah Parsons saying they slept on Brock Purdy is more of a detriment to the Cowboys. That was a playoff game. You don't sleep on anybody. I get that. I just thought it was ultimate sign, man. I get that. But there's no doubt that you can go. I don't think it's that 5-1. I don't think it's that necessarily. But maybe Micah Parsons, they go into that playoff game last year. They don't have a lot of tape on Brock Purdy.
Well, you had 6 games.
Right. That's not a lot.
And one playoff game against Seattle.
What I'm getting at is maybe you played against Brock Purdy and he was better than you thought. Not that you didn't prepare, but the film doesn't tell you how quick he is. The film doesn't tell you how elusive he is. Maybe there's nothing wrong with the Dallas Cowboys going out there last year saying we're going to win this game
and take advantage of them.
And then coming out after the game saying, you know what, Brock Purdy's good, better than we thought.